Hi everyone, my name is Joseph Rowan, and today I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about a holiday in China called the Chinese New Year. So the Chinese New Year is one of the most important holidays in China. In fact, it is the most celebrated holiday in the world. It's celebrated by 20% of the world's population, both in China and all around the globe. So it's a really awesome holiday. It is the longest Chinese holiday. So it spans over about 2 weeks, so it's an awesome holiday, and it also creates the largest human migration in the world. So people from all over the globe go back to China to celebrate this with their family and their friends. It's also known as the Spring Festival, so it goes over that whole range of 2 weeks, and that's what's called the Spring Festival. So over this speech, I hope to tell you a little bit more about the Chinese New Year. So a couple interesting facts about it. First, when is it? There's actually no set date for the Chinese New Year because it uses the lunar calendar. So it doesn't line up exactly with our calendar that we use today because it goes along with the moon cycles. It goes around from January 1st to January 15th. That's about the range it's going to be. And the day of Chinese New Year itself can fall from January 21st to February 20th. This year, in 2020, the Chinese New Year lands on January 25th, so make sure that you guys are ready to celebrate it this year. Now, what is it for? The Chinese New Year is actually a day of prayer. The Chinese pray to their gods for a good planting and harvesting season. So this is a way for them to hope for good fortune and good luck for that whole year. They also use it to pray to their ancestors, which is a huge part of the Chinese culture. Is for them to be able to get in touch with their ancestors and hope that they can also give them good fortune. And finally, there is a myth that monsters come out during this time of the Chinese New Year, and that somebody, a brave child or man, will have to go out and fight the monsters. So now, how do they celebrate the Chinese New Year? One of the things that they do is they put off a huge amount of fireworks. Now, we might think that we have it really extravagant here in the 4th of July in the United States, but for the Chinese New Year, it's actually the largest amount of fireworks set off in one day around the globe. So it's a huge amount of fireworks. One thing is that fireworks are mostly restricted in China, but somehow people still get their hands on them, similar to how they do in the United States here. And they set them off anyway. Most of the time, people do get in pretty big trouble for it. Another way is they eat really special foods. So they can only eat dumplings for the entirety of the Chinese New Year, the Spring Festival. So I think that might get a little bit boring, but they also have some awesome desserts that they can eat during it. And some of these have some really symbolic properties. So the tangyuan, it's literally translated to mean soup balls, but it means reunion. So this is a way for families to reunite, come back together, and spend some quality time with each other. Next is niango. This is a rice cake, and it symbolizes success. So this is another big part of the Chinese New Year, is people looking for fortune and success for that year. And finally, fai go is a muffin sponge cake hybrid. So that one's pretty cool, and it means to get rich. So that's one thing that people look, and it actually has a golden color, which also goes into that golden rich, right? Finally, there's a special wine specifically for the Spring Festival, so that's one delicacy that people look forward to for that year. And each year has a zodiac sign. You guys might have heard that, but this year is going to be the year of the white metal rat. So this one is pretty cool. I thought that was pretty interesting. I looked and saw what year I was born in, and I happen to be born in 2000, which is the year of the golden dragon, so I thought that was pretty cool for myself. And also, there are some other really cool traditions for the Chinese New Year. One thing is that they decorate everything in red. So around our Christmas time, you guys start to see green and red and all these different things, but red is everywhere for the Chinese New Year because red is supposed to be the only color that scares the monsters away in the legend. So that's a pretty cool fact. It also is used in every Chinese decoration. Children receive gifts, like here for Christmas, but one of the most popular gifts is that they receive lucky money. This is given in red envelopes, most of the time from older family members to the children, and this symbolizes the transfer of fortune from the elderly to the children. And finally, the Chinese New Year ends with an awesome lantern festival. So this is one of my favorite facts about the Chinese New Year. I thought this was pretty cool. They light hundreds of thousands upon millions of these lanterns with different shapes, sizes, colors, and it's a really big night of partying. This lantern festival is on the first full moon of the new year, so this is the end of the spring festival, and it's a night of partying and freedom. So it symbolizes the youth kind of maturing, going out and having their own freedom on their own. So thank you guys for listening to me. I thought the Chinese New Year was something cool that I learned about. Really found it interesting. I hope that you found it interesting as well, and I hope that you can look into it. And as they say in the Chinese New Year, Xin Yao Kai Lei, or Happy New Year. Thank you guys.